Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Salt City Racing Live podcast. Real quick, we're going to got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about here this evening. So, sponsors up on the page. Nick, we had a great time Friday night with some of our sponsors up there at Salt City. So, first of all, we got to thank everybody that's helped put this on. We got some exciting stats coming up here, courtesy of Mr. Jim Petty here shortly. We'll get him live and everything else too. We got to thank everybody that's helped put this racing thing together, put things on here. Kyler and his whole staff from Dodge City coming up to help us. It's couldn't do it without them. So I can't thank those guys enough of doing that. The track got a lot of things happen on the track. We put a berm up last week, which I thought was very good. Some of the light metal guys didn't like that very much. From that part. But again, let's go to the track prep. Jesse, Chad, and Jason coming from Dodge City. That's worked out in Dodge City for many, many years on a track. The track prep guys, can't thank them guys enough. And again, the crew that Kyler brings over from Dodge City, got to thank those guys profusely for everything they're doing to help us and the attitude and everything we're taking to get this going. Very pumped about last Friday's race. Had a great car turnout for sure. Had a great stands from the crowd. So I can't thank everybody enough that's helping support this situation and going forward with this. And of course, we're so excited and pumped to talk about July 19th and 20th race that's coming up. So we're going to talk about some of that here coming up here shortly. So anyway, let's first run through and again, talk about track prep. Mike Van Genderen got us all dialed in, got us going. Yeah, folks, we're still got some more ideas of things we're going to do better to make that track better. Of course, Murphy Tractor and Equipment, Dan and Curtis brought their crew out, had a great time on this weekend, last Friday for the VIP night. And of course, they are also the sponsors for the Friday and Saturday race for the Silver Crown cars. Richardson Brothers Construction. Thank you, John and Ross, for all the help, all the support, and everything you've done for us on that part. Of course, Ox Constructions, Andale Equipment, and Evans Building, helping us keep those walls together. And luckily, we've not had to put another wall up piece at all. Been racing very fine with that. So thank those guys profusely for that. Hample Oil bringing us up the fuel. Of course, Phoenix Recovery of Kansas bringing their wrecker out and keeping us on backup. And of course, Jackson Meat and Egbert Liquor helping us stay a little liquid refreshed and everything else, and helping the sponsorship of VIP nights in the center part. BG Products, a great partnership, of course, we have here with Mel Hamilton Ford. Construction Rentals, bringing out those lights to keep us lit up. And if we don't have the lights, I don't know what we do, right?
It's like the sun comes up again.
Exactly. Agri Center, bringing us the side-by-sides, of course, the safety ones. And I want to talk about the safety part of that too. But Agri Center, those guys helping us with the side-by-sides and keeping the miles off my feet and legs with me and Kyler, and also the safety EMT cart that we share between Dodge City. Zener Electric keeping the lights on. And Dusty and Cody, thank you for everything you're doing on that part for helping us that. And of course, United Rentals, we couldn't do without those big 4,000-gallon water trucks, keeping that track nice and wet and ready to go. So anyway, flip there, right?
Above.
Boom.
There we go.
Hey, there we are.
There we are.
You're not supposed to wear black. You're going to get in trouble, Gus.
I know. He's already mad at me.
He's already mad at you.
He got a new camera, though. So, I mean, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. How about that focus on that camera?
Yeah.
So, anyway, Jim Petty, thanks for hanging out with us again. You're doing so much to help promote this racetrack and promote things going on, especially the Salt City 100 we're going to talk about here shortly. But Jim is doing a ton of work for lap sponsorships for this race. And, Jim, you're a great partner here at Mel Hamilton Ford. But again, everything you're bringing us to help us keep Salt City running and stuff, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I know you got some interesting stats coming up and stuff like that too. So you got a lot of notes there. We want to talk about that too from that part. So we'll get to that here real shortly. So let's get back to the recap. Attendance, Nick. We ended up with
We ended up right at about 1,700 people.
1,700 coming through the gate. And we had how many pit passes? I didn't even hear
About
that.
270.
270 on the pit passes. And we ended up with 64 cars, if I remember correctly.
62 or
62 cars.
Yeah,
so
62 cars.
Good Car Count had 19 late models. That was the main part of the show. Those guys put on a great show and everything for us too. It was a good race.
So how about that sport mod finish?
Hey, now I'm going to tell you, that's that. Jim, did you catch that?
You what?
The sport mod finish. Did you catch that finish?
I did not.
You missed. I mean, I'm telling you, it was a green, white checkered. And I was shooting for Mr. Weens because he had a bad luck last race. He got that tire and popped a tire down there on him. So I was pumping, excited for him. and we had a caution on the last lap, so we had to do a green and white checker. And I was just I want him to win so bad just because what his bad luck that he had. And Jim, those guys come across with a 3 wide, so close. Weens pulled it off with just a nose width is all he pulled it off and won that race.
I'm looking up the actual interval here because it was super close.
It was a great finish. Gary Cornelison, of course, picked up some great pictures of that finish. So, Mr. Weens, thank you for racing with us, number one, and number two, awesome finish. And he was pretty pumped. He come down and he when he pulled in by the scales, he didn't know if he'd won yet or not.
So here we go. The leader, Kyle Weens, won by 0.076 seconds. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But the next part's even cooler. Okay, second and third, the scoring loop picked him up at 0.000.
It was a fun to watch. I seen him coming off of turn 4, and they went that. I don't remember which number of the cars. I couldn't keep track of the numbers and stuff. But the guy that ended up, I think he got second. He went high and went wide, and it was an awesome finish. So we got to get that. I told Gary Cornelius, I was talking to him today. I said we need to get pictures up in the store of all the heat winners and all the feature winners put up there. But that's going to be probably my top number one picture right there. Those 3 cars coming across. And Gary did a good job of getting those pictures and stuff too.
So. I don't think any of those 1,700 people sitting in the stands were sitting down when those cars come off of turn 4.
Well, there were a couple of them down there talking to me. That's the reason.
That's the reason you missed it.
But I got to tell you, the Weens boys have been real impressed with them over the years. If a car gets tore up, they show up the next race. That car looks new. They really take good care of their equipment.
Yeah, they're a couple good brothers. They work hard together and everything else on those race cars. It was Kyle that finished first, right?
Kyle finished first, and
I think
his brother finished 6th.
6th, did he get? Yeah, but I mean, those 2 guys, we met with them way early in the process of getting this track together. Talked to them about getting them to, what they wanted to see, what they wanted to do on the racetrack and stuff. So we really appreciate their input and everything they did for us. But just excited for Kyle.
Alex ran 4th. I knew he got
4th. I thought he was right up there.
Yeah, he got in a little trouble there early on. I think I saw where maybe he got turned around or partially turned around or something. But yeah, man, he rolled back up through there. So
yeah, very cool. So exciting find. Is excited that it's over. I'm excited for the next 2 races coming up, July 19th and 20th. I've been talking to Tommy Esses with USAC, and he's pumped too. He's ready to go. He's got to get his July 4th race under his belt, and then it'll be 100% focused on Salt City and the Salt City 100. And Jim's got a pretty good stat on that Salt City 100 we'll get to here in just a minute. But I want to cover a lot of questions about in the first heat race on the modifieds. And we had a rollover and a lot of excitement about the ambulance. Well, I want to cover that with you for a minute. I want everybody to know that we've worked very closely, very, very closely with our insurance company to make sure we are covered. I have double the coverage that I need to have for everything there. And we have a side-by-side that we share with Dodge City that the insurance is approved. It's better. And I'm going to tell you some advantages here in a minute that I think is very cool is there's 3 EMTs on those side-by-sides. If you saw them there Friday night, they were in the black suits with the red and orange psychedelic stripes all over them. And when you get an ambulance, you're going to have 2 people, and we have 3 people. And everything that's inside an ambulance is set up on that side-by-sides, ready to go. The backboard's there, everything they possibly could need. The second one over there is a fire unit that it's ready to go for fire and everything else too. So some people were excited that there wasn't an ambulance to show up to check on the driver. Well, I had the 3 EMTs right there on him. That first EMT, I remember seeing him slide under the car and checking on him.
Yeah.
Knew he was okay. They were right there. And when he got out of the car, they grabbed him, they took him and took him into the infield and did everything they needed to do there. Now, what I want everybody to know, if you take a big old ambulance and try to get him down in the infield, get the driver supported and do whatever you got to do, and then get him in the ambulance and then try to get him in and out of the track, and then get him out of the parking and everything else like that. It's a lot easier with a side-by-side than it would be an ambulance. Our insurance requires an ambulance to be within 8 miles of the racetrack. We have one on site, just right there off of Main Street, off of, I believe that's 20th Street. No,
on the property. On the property.
And they are on standby. They know we're racing. They know we're ready to go. So I want everybody to understand we've covered our bases, dotted I's, crossed our T's. And I promise you, my son's racing out there, and I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize my son. I hope everybody knows that, to make everybody be safe. But if my son did get injured, I would rather him be on a side-by-side getting out of that track as fast as they could than trying to maneuver an ambulance down and through there and stuff too.
Yep.
But remember, we have 3 certified EMTs that are down there ready to go to do whatever they might need to be, and everything that should be inside that ambulance is sitting on those side-by-sides. Insurance just checked us all out, proved everything, and got everything exactly the way we want it. So I just wanted to cover that base because I knew there was a little bit of excitement about there. Some questions. I talked to a lady on the phone Monday night, and after I talked to her, she goes, "No, that all makes sense." So I just want everybody to understand the safety factor here. We've dotted our I's, crossed our T's, and done everything we possibly can to make sure those racers are safe.
100%. And you look at a lot of these other big races, like these other big dirt races and stuff. They've got professional, like the same that we have. They have the professional safety crews on site, with 4-wheelers, with side-by-sides, and they're the first ones to the scene of the accident. If we got in a situation where we needed an ambulance, Reno County EMS is right there on the fairgrounds property, standing by for us. And I mean, they would be there just as quick as we would ever need. So,
yep, exactly. So, let's take a little breather here before we get Jim on live here. I want to catch up some chat lines coming up. Rob Gertz, great show last Friday night. Thank you. Bradbury Tickets easily got rid of their 125 tickets for employees. Thank you, David Cox.
Yeah.
David Cox is a good buddy of mine. He runs Bradbury Company there in Mountain Ridge. And yes, they bought 125 tickets, and I'm excited for that. So David Cox, Bradbury Company, thank you for hanging out there with us too. Good afternoon, Delbert.
Scotty's not here.
Scotty's not here, Delbert. So Scotty messed that up because he called Scotty Nick Saturday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
We keep it all. We keep everybody rotating. So.
Yeah. Chelsea says that finish was worth the ticket. She's got to be talking about that 3-wide B-mod feature, which is really cool. Jeremy Kane, good evening from Houston. I hope everything's going okay down there for you, buddy. And John, I talked to John Sabilla in Hayes because we went out and raced in Hayes after we raced on Friday. And sorry you missed it too, buddy. But John was our only hobby stock that hung out with us, and so him and I talked at Hayes at RPM Speedway, and got some ideas what we can do for him too. So Alex Ween, I was the caution that set up the whole.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now.
Yeah, but anyway.
You made your brother work for it. That's what you were doing. You're like, okay, bro, you're not going to get it this easy. You're going to have to really work for it.
Yeah, he did. He did, because they would even come around, and when it went green and they come off a 2, I was real nervous, where it was going to end and stuff, but he hung right in there. The other thing I was going to tell you, Kyle was starting to smoke a little bit too, but I couldn't tell if it was engine smoke or tire smoke. And of course he was so pumped and excited, I didn't get to ask him down in Victory Lane down there if it was tire smoke or engine smoke or oil, maybe had an oil leak or what he had.
I saw the right rear quarter panel looked like it may have been folded in a little bit, so I guess I kind of assumed it was tire smoke, but
yeah. So anyway, Weens Brothers, thanks for the great show. Thanks for racing us. But let's go. Next one that I want to talk about is the super stocks. Thanks.
It was oil.
Fuel pump leaking there. Okay. Well, that's good. Super stocks. Got to thank those guys that came over and raced with us. I think they put on a great show. Congratulations to Chris Pitts and of course, Dustin Frenia. Dustin pretty pumped about taking that win out of there.
He's pumped
for that part. So you super stock guys, thank you. And again, I was down there for every heat race and every feature. Not one burn up tire. Everybody's tires look good. There was one guy had a little bit of feathering going on the B mods. But other than that, everybody's tires come off very good, very nicely. So tire prep, tire track prep, all you want to talk about there. I think we're getting the handle on the racetrack, and we got a few more ideas again what we're going to do to make that racetrack even better for the 19th and 20th. So exactly. Ryan Green definitely can't wait to be back on the 19th. I'm with you there too. So what Delbert have to say?
Said that's so much better than the drag strip. I worked at there in Wichita as a former EMT working that track. We had a fire truck to wait in. Phil, you guys are doing it right. Way to go. Thank you. So
anyway, if anybody else got any questions on the comment line, hit us up on that. We'll love to answer any more questions, stuff like that too. Yeah. Who's Scotty anyway? Wait till I tell him that, Delbert. Okay. So let's go next on our sheet would be, Let's flip it over to Mr. Petty. Mr. Petty, again, thank you for everything you're doing. Appreciate the history that you have. But I'm pumped for when I walked into the room here this evening, what you had to say about a stat and everything else too.
I think I was mistaken. I think there's one I didn't get on here.
Well, that's all right.
I think this will be the 16th or 17th 100-lap race they've ever had at that racetrack. And
16th or 17th only
Yeah,
of all the years.
for
Okay.
over 100 years. And I told you we hadn't had one since 1960. I think that's wrong. I think there actually was one in the 70s.
I think there was one in the 70s. Still, that's a
Yes.
long time
That's
ago.
still a
since
minute ago.
Yeah, still a long time ago. So
Yep.
anyway, I think you've sold every lap sponsor, but you're doubling up on some more because people want to keep giving money and supporting the races and all that kind of stuff too. So again, I can't thank you for everything you're doing there. So how has the sales been on the lap sponsors? How you doing? What's happening there?
Well, we've got, I've still got room I can put some people in.
Okay.
I have some that have been sold. The folks don't care which number they're on. I
Okay.
haven't assigned them a number yet to leave that open for somebody who wants to potentially match it up with their car number.
Okay.
So give me a call if you're wanting to get in on this deal. And we've got some great surprises coming up, and really, really looking forward to working with all of you. And it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I've talked to a lot of people, heard a lot of stories when we get to talk about these car numbers. And every racer's got a great story. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun, pretty exciting and stuff
Yeah.
too. To see the lap sams go down. I'm just pumped to get the 100 lap race going. And
One of the things I've come across, I didn't know this, but the very first 100 lap race on that racetrack was won by a guy who was fresh off of winning the very first NASCAR stock car race, and that's Jim Roper.
Jim Roper raced there.
Yes.
Okay.
And he
Well,
also,
I figured he probably did. You know where he's from, right?
Halstead. Yes.
You know who else is from Halstead, Nick?
I don't know anybody from Halstead.
And he also won the longest race ever run at that racetrack, 300 laps.
He ran a 300 lapper there at Hutch.
Yes.
Wonder how long that took.
Did it rubber up?
Did it rubber up?
Sure did.
How much are the lap sponsors? Fred Cross wants to know. How much are lap sponsors?
If you want to guarantee you'll be on that lap for yourself, it's $300.
Okay.
If you don't mind, we stack other people on it. It's $100.
Okay. So your own lap is 300. If you want to stack on top of another lap, it's $100. Okay. That's fair enough, I think, right?
You bet.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay. So anyway, I think we got everything. Jordan Whitehead wants to call in. He's got something he wants to talk about. Is there a way we can get a call in thing? Gus is going to dial it in here in a minute, and we will try to get send Jordan the direct number line we need to get. We're going to get it dialed in. Jordan is dying. He's called my phone. I told him I can't talk on the podcast, and he put out on the chat line, let me call in. I got some insight on this. So Jordan, I hope you got some good insight. In case everybody doesn't know Jordan Whitehead, he's got Chandler Dan's, does some great cooking and stuff out there for different events and stuff like that. Done a lot of cooking here for us too. So
jack of all trades. Master of a few of them.
No, I'm not even sure. Master of Bluetooth.
Master of the Bluetooth speaker.
Okay, so I don't know. Is that him, you think?
Did I bug you guys enough? You probably want to talk to me?
All right, and we got Jordan Whitehead coming through the phone. Gus pulled it off and got you on here. So I hope you got some good stat or something for us to pause the show to get Gus to get the phone hooked up and get you on here. So,
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, I got some insight on this, and Nick Ballman knows as well as I do. And I'm not going to out any racetrack because it doesn't matter where it happened. But what you guys are doing out there with the side-by-side, the certified EMTs and the ambulance close and the insurance is exactly what you should be doing, and it's above and beyond. Because let me tell you, and my roommate at the time was Nick Baldwin can confirm, I got into a wreck and got hurt pretty bad. And not only did I have a bad concussion, but I had a broken ankle. And when they put me in the ambulance, the first thing we figured out was that the ambulance was just track owned. It was not, it was like Tiger King, like, oh, we got our own ambulance.
Yeah,
like,
let's think how safe that is.
Yeah. So, and then the EMT that was taking care of me, I'm not going to say they weren't an EMT, but I don't feel like they were a certified EMT.
Yeah.
Either way, they got us to the hospital, got me patched up, put back together. Me being the smart young man that I am, didn't have any insurance at the time, but that's okay because I was racing and I signed in that night and paid my entry fee. Well, come to find out, the racetrack didn't have any insurance that night either.
Oh, wow.
So I got the bill
remember
to the tune of about $4,800 that I had to pay out of my pocket. I set up a payment plan and I paid it off, and we all went about with our lives. But I can tell you, if they're complaining about the way you guys ran things on Saturday, tell them to call me, because I can tell you it is much worse and can be much worse. Especially,
Jordan, I get their point a little bit when they don't see an ambulance show up or whatever on that racetrack, like some tracks do have. But not, most of the tracks I go to don't have an ambulance either. They've got the side by sides, they've got them set up and ready to go. But for someone that's just now coming back to a racetrack, like some of these people have coming back to Hutch and being out there and not seeing it, I get their concern, I guess I should say. But after
absolutely.
talking to that lady on Monday, she got it. She understands, and her son was racing too. That's why she was concerned about it.
Yeah.
But again, I would want my son to be able to, if he does get hurt, hope God he never does.
Sure.
But if he does, I'd rather want him on a side-by-side that could maneuver through everything else like that and get him out of there as fast as he can, to get him to an ambulance, to get him in there and get him to the hospital if he has to get there or whatever. Any driver, that has to happen. It just makes more sense to put him on that side-by-side and go. Everything that's on that side-by-side is inside man. All you got just a smaller have a big old box thing coming through there and getting through. Think about how quicker it is to get that side-by-side somewhere versus an ambulance. Let's take up just lining up cars somewhere and they can't get through. So
exactly. And then in places in that infield that are, I mean, down there in the corners, it kind of sinks in, and there's always standing water down there. So, I mean, the ambulance couldn't get through that, but a side-by-side sure can.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that's good, man. We look forward to it. We'll definitely. My family bought a lap, so we'll definitely be there for the big USAC show. We can't wait to see some open wheel action, guys.
Hey, it's going to be fun, man. Thanks again for calling in and giving us your story.
Right. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Jordan. Bye. Anyway, normally we don't take call-ins on the show. That's my Saturday morning show. We take calls in on that about your cars and stuff like that too. So appreciate that, comments and stuff like that too. So I hope that settles everybody with what's happening with the ambulance, what we kind of do. So anyway, Jim, not to interrupt you again, because Jordan wanted to call in and got so excited and stuff too. So 16th or 17th time that it's going to be a 100-lap race. That's a pretty cool stat from that part. So
looking forward to it. I'll tell you that. Since I first saw it on the schedule.
Yep, it's going to be fun.
I once drove 400 miles to see a Silver Crown race. That's how excited I am about it.
I've never seen them in person. Okay, heard a lot about them and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they're a longer sprint car. There's no wing. Got a 75-gallon gas tank, so they're going to be zinging. Of course, they got to have a big enough gas tank. I didn't think to ask Tommy, will there be a pit stop? No pit stop.
Run it straight through. That's why they have 75 gallons.
So it's going to be a fun night. So let's go through Nick Friday. We've got our program laid out for Friday, got our Saturday kind of lined out. So basically Friday, complete stock car program, right?
Yep. Okay. So Friday, July 19th, we're going to have a complete program for IMCA stock cars, IMCA modifieds, and super stocks. We will run qualifying heat races for the URSS Sprint Series. And then the USAC Silver Crown cars will be on the track. How many times did he say you want to be on track?
3 times it will practice.
3 times
on
cars
Friday.
will be on the track to practice Silver Crown cars. And then Saturday, July 20th, we'll run a complete race for IMCA Sport Mod. The Silver Crown Series will run their qualifiers. The URSS Sprint Series will run their A feature or B feature before that if need be. And then we will have the Salt City 100 to conclude the weekend.
So
action-packed,
fun to go. So if somebody's watching or whatever, we'll of course post this too. The schedule is on saltcityracingllc.com. So if you want to jump out there and see that there too. Next thing kind of coming up is the hotels. We've got a list of hotels there in the city of Hutchinson if you need to be spending the night, Friday night. We've got those up and ready to go here. So if you go to the webpage and come up
over here,
right here, information, right?
I think so.
There's the hotels in Hudson. Of course, the hotels fill up. So another town close to be would be McPherson. Of course, Wichita is 45 minutes away if you want to jump into Wichita. But McPherson has got some great hotels there for them to stay too if these 4 hotels are booked in Hutch. But there's the phone numbers, everything there. You can jump to this again. Go to saltcityRacingLLC.com. Pick up all those dates and stuff if you need to. Dates, phone numbers, and stuff to call and get your reservations and stuff. Different prices, different stuff, and these are prices set up for the race. The Hutchinson Chamber went to the hotels and worked out these rates for us, so we can't thank them enough for that. Getting those hotels. So if you're looking for a hotel or whatever for Friday night, there's your list of hotels that you can get set up, and make sure you tell them you're coming for the Salt City 100 from that part.
That's right.
Nick, while we're still there, I went up and talked to the crowd as we threw out some shirts and stuff. I hope everybody liked those shirts, the Salt City shirts that we threw out. Of course, some of those shirts had some pretty good prizes inside of them. But here you can go on your webpage. We already got orders coming in. So if you want to pick up some T-shirts that we threw out, there they are, $20 a piece. We can ship them to you. You can come by the dealership and pick them up, or we can send them to you for a slight little nominal fee. The hats, we do have the hats. They're not on the webpage there yet, but there are hats there ready to go. From that part too, so we'll get that updated too. I thought we'd already updated that part too. Let us know what other merchandise you might like to see. We're building this online store, and we'll get to that. More stuff as you see. We're just got so many irons in the fire and everything else like that part to keep things moving from that part. So we got down here the Dodge City Raceway and URSS update, but Kyler Fetters is taking a break, and
he's on vacation.
He needs a break.
He's in the mountains.
He needs a break though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude works hard.
He does need a break. So talked to him earlier this morning, and he's having fun out there and stuff like that too. So that's why he's not on the podcast tonight, but that's
right.
okay.
But next Saturday night, Dodge City Raceway Park, 50 lap modified feature. I'm ready.
Are we?
We're ready. We've already got tires ready for it.
Sweet. So a lot of things happening in Dodge City too. So if you need some fun action there, make sure you check out Dodge City Raceway's website. Check out their schedule and everything else there from that part. And again, I got to go back to Kyler Fetters and your crew that you bring from Dodge City. I can't thank you enough. The gentleman that Jason, Chad, and who else am I leaving out there that on the track?
Jesse.
And Jesse. Those three guys are helping us work that very hard. Coming up from that part too. From that part. So can't thank those guys enough of everything that they're helping us with from there. And all the crew that Kyler brings from Dodge City. Thank you. And the few employees we have here from Mel Hamilton Ford, I appreciate everybody there helping with that too from that part too. So get ready for July 19th and 20th. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait. What have we left off, Nick?
So I'm going to read some names off here. Okay. These aren't people that are going to be at the Salt City 100, but these are past champions of the USAC Silver Crown Series. So the guys and girls that you see racing July 19th and 20th at Salt City, they are in a very good place to become a superstar one day. So here's a few names that are past champions of the Silver Crown Series. AJ Foyt.
Huh. How about that?
Al Unser.
Oh, I knew about Al. Me and Jim have talked about Al.
Mario Andretti.
I listened to a podcast with him on Dale Jr.'s deal the other night.
Poncho Carter.
Poncho Carter. I forgot about El Poncho.
Ken Schrader.
Oh, Kenny.
Won the Silver Crown Series.
From St. Louis.
Dave Blaney.
All right, Dave Blaney. He drove a lot of sprint cars.
Jack Hewitt.
Yeah,
if you want to get a laugh.
Okay, Dave Blaney. Hold on, back up to Dave Blaney. Everybody know who Dave Blaney is? His son is Ryan Blaney driving for NASCAR.
Won the Cup championship last year. Jack Hewitt, if you want to see something funny, YouTube some Jack Hewitt interviews. Just
do it, huh?
There. Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff Gordon.
Cool.
Mike Bliss. He ran NASCAR for a while. He was really good in the truck series. Dave Darland, Ryan Newman, Tracy Hines, JJ Yaley, Bud Kading. Bud Kading's a badass sprint car driver from California.
Yep.
Levi Jones.
So some pretty good drivers there, right?
Yep. And then these guys that are on the top of the chart. Logan Seavey won it last year. Logan Seavey's won the Chili Bowl, the last 2-3 years in a row?
Something like that. He's been pretty good.
Kevin.
Yep, exactly.
So you're going to see some of the top rising stars in the country at Salt City.
Okay, let's go. Kyle Weens just brought up another side. Kaylee Bryson. She won the Silver Crown race in Belleville.
She did. I don't know that she's going to be there. Somebody told me that she potentially has, and maybe you know a bit more about this, Jim.
She's scheduled to run a Trans Am race that day.
Okay.
She doesn't know where the important things are at now,
I
does
know.
she?
That's right.
We might need to make a phone call on that one, kind of like we had to do today, Nick.
Maybe the Trans Am race will rain out.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, Kyle, hope she shows up. I'd love to see her there too. I think it'd be very cool. Now, my other question I would have was, would she be the first woman to win a Silver Crown race?
Yes,
She
she won
was.
at Belleville.
I know. Was she the first woman to
She
win?
was.
Yeah. She was the first woman to win a Silver Crown race. So that's pretty cool.
As well as the first woman to be the fastest qualifier.
She was a fast qualifier too.
She whooped her ass. I'm just gonna
Woo!
put it out
Good
there.
for her.
She whooped it.
Good for her.
Jamie asks, how many did we have in attendance at the last race? 1,700 and like 270 something in the pits.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Pretty good numbers. Anyway, like I told everybody, please fill these grandstands the 19th and 20th. Let's show this fair board. This is the right thing to do to keep racing and keep that racetrack in Hutchinson. I promise you that Nick and I and Jim and Kyler and whole crew at Mel Hamilton Ford, the whole crew at Dodge City, we are doing so many things in the background to keep things going, to keep that racetrack alive. The excitement level there, like that 3-wide finish and everything else, the crowd loved it and everything else too. Please get your family, get your friends, get your neighbors, get whoever you can. Fill those stands. And even after the 19th and 20th, we got our August 3rd race. Is that right?
Yeah, August 3rd, we'll have late models again.
And then the September
September the 20th
20th.
will be our last points race. And
So-
then hopefully we can get another one or two in there after that.
And then we can keep moving this thing forward and make it happen. So again, we got to keep filling these stands. We got to keep doing it. We got to keep this excitement level up, because I want to go in October and I want to come out of that meeting in October with a 5-year contract. Then Katie bar the door. We want to do at that racetrack and stuff too. So it's going to be fun. Yeah,
Be
Kyle,
awesome.
it does sound like more than 1,700. That's how loud and much and fun, exciting the people we're having in those stands from that part. So it's fun. It's fun to stand on that stage and listen to everybody and have the fun and listen to those race cars scream around that racetrack. That is for sure. So anyway, I think we got everything covered. Looks like the chat line's caught up. Adrian, hey, hi there, buddy. How are you? But from that part, Jim, anything last comments, any questions, any ideas, anything whatsoever?
Let's make some history.
That's
Let's
exactly
do
right.
it,
Let's make
yeah.
some more history at that famous track in Hutchinson. Don't miss it. Don't be late. Be there early. Be there both nights. It's going to be fun both nights. Everything else too. We're going to put on a great show as best we can. And again, thank all the sponsors we listed at the first of the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everybody. Thank you for the crowd. Thank you for the racers that showed up. All the class and stuff. Congratulations to the race winners. Excited for everybody in that part. And Gary Cornelison throwing out some great pictures for us too. So
Yeah.
Gary, thank you for that. Can't thank you. It's great pictures. So we're going to do that, Nick. We're going to hang up some pictures here in the store for the winners, heat race winners,
Definitely.
and feature winners and stuff
Yeah,
to
when
get us a
they,
wall somewhere.
When they win at that racetrack, they're on a list of names that includes Parnelli Jones also.
I forgot about Parnell Jones was
Yep.
there too. So Jim, we're gonna next week. I want you to get some more stats of some more famous drivers that Nick was reading off the champions of Silver Crown. We need to read off some stats of the track of some famous winners. I know a guy that's won a lot of races out there too. I think I'm pretty sure I know someone that's won the most races on that racetrack.
Well, maybe we need to have we
Most,
got another headset. So.
most
maybe-
feature races anyway. That'd be Buddy Mullins.
That's right. He's won so many of those races and stuff too. I think he knows how to get around that racetrack. What do you think?
He does.
He does. That's
And,
for sure. So
Tanner hadn't been too bad over there either.
no, that's for sure. So anyway, hey, everybody, I got to thank you all for the support, the time, the effort, and everything to get to the races, from racers, so the fans, the crowd, everybody. Please, let's keep going. Let's keep making this happen. This is something that we got to keep alive in Hutchinson. We got to keep this half-mile track there. We got to keep it going. What's fun for me is after the heat race and the features, the excitement level of the drivers that come down through Tech. They're pumped. They're excited. It's fun. Caleb Dale, I think he was probably one of the other ones that's very excited to come through there from that part. But again, all the racers that came, everybody that's doing that, coming there to support that. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep filling these stands from that part. And Jamie White, Emmett Hahn, and Sammy Swindell. I don't know if they're champions or feature winners or have raced at the
They've
half
both
mile.
Yes,
Jamie,
both. They both won there.
they both won there. Okay, so some more big names. Jim, we need you back next week for some more stats, some more things to
Got
get
it.
people to entice them and show them why they need to be in the stands July 19th and 20th. And racers, you just got to be out there and be on a racetrack to be part of a deal that happens like that from that part. It's just got to be fun and exciting and ready to go. So
Also tickets. Tickets are online for sale. You can buy individual tickets for each night, or you can buy a pack, or you can buy a 2-night pass as well.
Anyway, Peyton Burkhart, buddy, thanks for racing with us. I just seen your comment. You had a lot of fun. I can tell you're having a lot of fun there and stuff too. Top 3 again. I think you finished 3rd again. So good job for you, Peyton, coming racing with us. Really appreciate you and your family. You got a lot of history racing there too. Known your family a lot, many years and stuff too. So thank you for racing and everything else. Good to see everybody there at the racetrack. So everybody, we're working on a few more things on the backside of this thing to keep this racetrack moving. Just do me a favor. Keep the positive things coming on Facebook. Keep the comments coming at us. If you got something you want to talk to us about, come by the dealership, talk to us, email us. We've got the track phone on the website. Get the merchandise bought that you want. We'll get the real hat put up there and get the hats going for you. If you see something else you want on that merch store, let us know. But get your tickets, get online, buy online. Yeah, we had a little bit of an issue scanning some tickets in last time, but Gus, our IT guy, is on it. We're going to have that fixed and ready to go for July 19th and 20th.
The new scanners are badass. I got to hand him that.
So buy them online. It's just about the same amount of money to do that, but that way you don't got to wait your line in the ticket window and stuff like that too, to speed up your process to get in that gate. And if I was you, I'd be there a little early to watch some of the things that are going to happen each night and stuff too. So don't want to miss it. Going to be a best show in the house, and just can't wait to have some fun. So everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you, of course, Saturday at 9:00 for my normal show with the Under the Hood show. And again, we'll be back live next Wednesday at 6:00. Jim Petty will be back, and he's going to have some more stats and more things for us. And if you've got some stats and things you want to talk about, get them to us or get them to Jim or put them on the chat line next Wednesday at 6:00. We'll go live. Everybody have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and let's go racing.